Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all? Welcome to Chennai Storytelling Festival 2026, and this is the fourth week going on. So, there is a very simple proverb I would say stories are bridges between hearts. So, now for the next 2 hours, we build many such bridges. So, let us begin without wasting any time. Our very first tellers of the day are Mangalam and Thankam, and they are here with Tentum storytelling. It's a folklore from Kerala. So over to you both girls.
Thank you, Sheetal.
So, Kerala is the southernmost state of India. This state has the beautiful Arabian Sea on one side and the mighty Western Ghats on the other side, and in between is a land full of coconut trees and palms. Now, this land has seen common man, kings, fools, scholars, and holy spirits and sorcerers actually walk the length and breadth of it. And they interact with each other on a daily basis. So they smile at each other, they help each other, and sometimes they even fight with each other. So, from this beautiful land of magic and mystic, Thankam and myself are going to get you a story. So sit back and enjoy.
So this is the story of Raman of Uliyannur. Uliyannur is a very small village in Kerala. And Raman was better known as Perindachan. Tachan in Malayalam means carpenter. And Perindachan means the great carpenter. Now Raman, Perindachan, was probably the greatest carpenter that Kerala had ever known in the history of Kerala. Now people believed that Raman's hands were blessed by gods themselves. Because whatever he made, be it chariots, be it temples, be it doors, be it God's idols, everything turned out to be perfect. Now, all the kings back then used to seek his help for the work in and around the palace. And the priests used to go and ask him for advice because of Perindachan's wisdom. He was a very wise person. And all the villagers used to just bow down when they crossed path with Perindachan. So they all believed him to be perfect. But in Perindachan's heart, only God was perfect. So he used to have this belief that no human work can ever claim perfection. Perfection belonged only to the divine. That's what he believed in. Perindachan had a son, and his name was Kannan. So as Kannan grew up, he used to just be in and around his father, and he used to see his father work. And the silence when Perindachan concentrated, the rhythm of Perindachan's chisel, the devotion with which he cut each piece of wood, Kannan used to be intrigued by all this. And Kannan never left Perindachan's side. Kannan used to stay with Perindachan day in and out. And he learned the craft. And Perindachan also taught him the craft. But Kannan actually learned the craft way too quickly, too quickly, that he became better than Perindachan. Or that's what people started believing. And wherever Perindachan went, he started hearing that, the son would surpass the father. Kannan is greater than Perindachan. That's what he used to get to hear. So once Perindachan built a bridge, a wooden bridge. And this was no ordinary bridge. Now on one end of the bridge, Perindachan built a wooden doll, a wooden figurine. And the doll was under the bridge in the water. So what happens is, if a pedestrian comes and stands on the bridge, starts walking over the bridge, this doll would slowly come up. This wooden figurine would slowly come up. And as the pedestrian comes very close to the end of the bridge, what would happen is that this doll would come up completely with water filled in its mouth, and the doll would just spit water onto the pedestrian, and the pedestrian would become completely drenched. And people would laugh at him, and he would end up being the laughing stock of the village. this went on and it disturbed the people there, the villagers. So Kannan got to know about this. So what did Kannan do? Kannan built another doll, another wooden figurine right next to Perindachan's doll. So now, each time a pedestrian started walking across the bridge, now alongside Perindachan's doll, Kannan's doll also started coming up. And just as Perindachan's doll was about to spit the water on the pedestrian, what would Kannan's doll do? Kannan's doll would just slap Perindachan's doll and the face would just turn around and the water would be spat on back to the river, not on the pedestrian. So now what has happened? The doll that was made by Kannan slapped the doll that was made by Perindachan. But for Perindachan, that's not how he took it. He was terribly insulted. He thought it was for him that Kannan slapped him. Kannan slapped his father. That's how he took it. Slowly, people started praising Kannan, and Perindachan somehow, that feeling of jealousy came into his heart. And the fear of sort of being overpowered by Kannan started consuming Perindachan. So one day, king had called Kannan for the building of a temple, and the complete work was given to Kannan. Kannan finished the whole thing. The temple was constructed, the woodwork was done, but just for the finishing touch, they had called Perindachan. So Perindachan agreed to go. Perindachan goes there and he climbs on top of the roof, on top of the temple, and he's sitting there to do the finishing work. And when he looks down, suddenly he sees his son Kannan a couple of levels down, sitting down on a beam and working there. He's concentrating and he is working with his tools. Suddenly, in a flash of a second, Perindachan's chisel just slips from his hand. It falls on Kannan's neck, it cuts Kannan's neck, and Kannan loses balance and he just falls down. Perindachan starts crying and he rushes to his son. But by then, Kannan had a pool of blood flowing beneath his body. So Perindachan just comes and he picks up Kannan and he cradles him in his arms. And Kannan, just with half eyes shut, he just asks him, "Father, was I wrong? Was my work wrong?" So Perindachan, he couldn't bear it anymore. He just cries. The crowd is screaming and he just cries and he tells Kannan, "Son, your craft was better than mine." And then Kannan just closes his eyes. Kannan dies. It is said that ever since, Perindachan has never picked up his chisel. And it is also said that before he left that village, he carved on a wooden plank, he carved that perfection is only for the divine. And if man claims that, disaster follows, tragedy follows. That's what he had carved.
Now, Perindachan, the greatest craftsman, and his son both were amazing. How did Perindachan learn this craft and how did he become such a great craftsman? And who was his father? To know that, we must travel from Kerala to central India, to present-day Ujjain, to the resplendent kingdom of Ujjain, where King Vikramaditya was the ruler. So King Vikramaditya's courtroom was bright, shining and shimmering, not only because of all the wealth, but also because of the Navaratnas he had in his courtroom. The scholars who were well-read and well-versed in almost all fields under the sky. And out of the Navaratnas, the one which was shining and shimmering more than everyone was Vararuchi. Kings, they keep questioning. As always, one day, King Vikramaditya asked his ministers and the scholars in his courtroom, "People here, I would like to know which is the most important line or verse in the Valmiki Ramayana." Now all the ministers and the scholars present over there, they all gave different answers. They came up with different verses, but none of them was satisfying. Now, there were rivals for Vararuchi. They were jealous of Vararuchi. So these people, they went to the king and they told the king, Your Highness, if there is someone who can really answer your question, it is Vararuchi. Ask him, tell him to give you the answer. I'm sure he will give you. They all went and told the king. And so the king called Vararuchi and asked him the same question. And the king said, Vararuchi, you have 41 days. Go find the answer. And if you do not get the answer, don't even come back here. So Vararuchi set out. He traveled across the length and breadth of the country. He met many scholars, teachers, and he asked them, but none of the answers he got was satisfying. Tired and exhausted, he rested under a tree and he almost dozed off. And he was woken up by the chirping of the birds sitting above. He knew the language of the birds and he listened intently. And as he listened, his eyes and mouth actually went wide in surprise. Do you know what the bird said? The first bird said, Did you see the girl, the beautiful baby girl who was born in the village last night? She belongs to a lower caste community. Okay, this story happened back in India when caste system was very prevalent. She's so beautiful. And the other bird says, she's definitely very beautiful. And the man sitting under this tree is the one, the Brahmin sitting under this tree is the one who's going to marry that girl. And what is more, he does not even know that the most important verse of the Ramayana is Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam. Yes, Vararuchi had got his answer. So he went straight back to the palace and he told the king, My dear king, your highness, I've got the answer. This is a shloka from the Valmiki Ramayana, which is of utmost importance. Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi, Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam, Ayodhyam Athavim Vidhi, Gachatat Yatha Sukham. The meaning which I will explain later. So, and he did not just go to just tell the verse, he gave 18 different reasons of why this shloka and this line is the most important from the Ramayana. The king was very happy. He invited Vararuchi for lunch. Now, there was something still burning in the background for Vararuchi, what the bird had said. So, he very subtly told the king over lunch, King, there is a baby girl who is born in our kingdom and she is a very bad omen for our kingdom. Can we just get rid of her? Can we just set her afloat on a river with a lamp near her head and just get rid of her? That would be the best thing for us to do in the kingdom. So trusting Vararuchi's knowledge, the king also ordered, and that baby was set afloat on a river on a boat with a lamp near its head. Now years passed. Vararuchi traveled the length and breadth of the kingdom, and one day he reached a Brahmin's house very tired and hungry. So he went there and he was in a mood of having fun. So he just told the Brahmin, see, I will have food in your place only if you serve me 108 dishes. And after I finish my meal, I want to chew 4 people. Get me 4 people to chew. I will chew 4 people after I finish my meal. And 4 people should carry me after I finish my meal. Now the Brahmin was very perplexed. Just then, the Brahmin's daughter, Panchami, she peeped from behind the door and she said, Father, it'll be done. Tell him it's fine. Vararuchi caught a glimpse of the girl who was stunningly beautiful. And she came and laid the plantain leaf in front of Vararuchi and she served Inji Tair. Inji Tair is a dish made of ginger and curd, which has a lot of medicinal value, and it is said to be a god of the dishes. It is said to be the dish of the gods. And after the meal was over, she came and gave betel leaves, arka nut, tobacco and lime to chew. Those were the 4 people to chew. And then she led Vararuchi to a cot with 4 legs to rest upon. Vararuchi was very, very happy. So this was beauty plus brains together. He asked if he could marry the girl, and the two of them got married, and life was happy, marital bliss. One day, Panchami was lying down on Vararuchi's lap and he was just caressing her hair. And what do you think he noticed? Yes, there was a mark on her head. And how do you think it came? Yes, I know you all know the answer. Yes, she was the baby who was set afloat on the boat with the lamp near her head. And the burnt mark was because of that flame of the lamp. Knowing that, Vararuchi was filled with remorse. He decided to go on a pilgrimage, and Panchami, his wife, also decided to join along. Days passed, and she gave birth to her first beautiful baby boy. She was so happy. And Vararuchi just asked, "Does the baby have a mouth?" She said, "Yes." "Okay, then leave the baby right there and come along with me. God feeds those who have mouths. Just come along with me." Heartbroken, but unable to disobey her husband, she went along with him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 children in all. She abandoned across the length of Kerala, and the 12 of them were being picked up by 12 different families of 12 different communities of 12 different regions along the length of Kerala, and they grew up in different households, practicing different occupations. And the third one was Raman, who was picked up by a carpenter family, and he became the greatest carpenter of all times in Kerala, whose story you just heard a while before. So that was Raman's birth story. You're on mute, Thankam.
Yes, now we've heard both the stories, and we can clearly understand that, one story spoke about skill and human weakness, while the other of destiny and acceptance. One carved wood with his hand, and the other read the lines of fate, or rather, heard the lines of fate. Whatever it is, however vast knowledge can be, the truth remains that life is really mysterious, and sometimes destiny moves in a way which you and I can never even comprehend, and sometimes even expect or imagine. Thank you. So now we have a question for you. The first question being, what do you think? Was that chisel, was it, dropped purposely, or was that an accident? So this is the question we have for you.
Oh, wow. So, yes, I would say it was an accident. Yes, Usha ma'am, to you, please.
Yeah, Sheetal, go ahead.
No. I just wanted to say I felt it was by accident.
Well, I feel you can manifest, and Raman certainly manifested. When you harbor envy, unwittingly certain things happen, but because you've harbored something. So now whether he did it deliberately or it fell, but I would say he manifested. So is he culpable? Maybe not. The jury is out. I'm not here, but your story was fantastic. I like the tandem telling. I want to know what is the source of this story, Thankam and Mangalam.
Ma'am, this is from Aidihya, and the story is Parai Petta Pandirukulam. Parai is the lady, the Panchami in Mangalam story. So she gave to 12 children, and their fate ended up being so different, like what Mangalam said.
So this is a Kerala story,
Yes, from the folk. Yes.
It's from
Kottaran
Kerala.
By Kottaran Shankuni.
Oh, wonderful, fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
And regarding the shloka, which I said, why that is the most important shloka. So these days we talk about narrative practices, but this verse, Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam Ayodhya Atavim Vidhi Gachattat Yatha Sukham. This was the line which Sumitra, that is Lakshmana's mother, told Lakshmana when he was getting ready to go along with Rama and Sita to the forest. So, narrative practice tells that the meaning we give to the story actually shapes the experience. So, this was a scenario where he was going to the forest, and what Sumitra tells is in the forest or where you're going, consider Rama to be equivalent to Dasharatha. So, that means consider Rama to be your father. Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam. Consider Sita as myself. That means Sumitra is telling that. Consider Sita to be your mother, like me. And Ayodhyam Atavim Vidhi. So the forest is to be considered like Ayodhya. Go happily, my son. So what has happened is she's changed from the victim narrative to a purpose narrative. So here, she's changed nothing has changed. The exile is there. They're going to go to the forest for 14 years. But suddenly it becomes like a very known place, and it is going to be a service, and there is a whole purpose she brings out. So from fear of the unknown of the forest, she tells it's just like Ayodhya, just go and serve like how you're serving my parents. So she brought clarity to Lakshmana, and narrative practitioners know. So she's even done an environmental reframing, she's done a purpose reframing, she's done a person reframing also. So that is the gist, and that is why that shloka is considered the most important thing. And so I would say she was the first narrative therapist. Thank you very much.
That was amazing. Anybody else would like to ask any questions? As we are running out of time, we won't get more into details. Can we move on to the next teller? Is that okay? Anybody wants to ask anything? Or if you both want to share something?
So both of you are twinning here.
Yes.
So this is something that, and I love your background. That's a lovely Kerala. What is the style of housing in Kerala called? It's
Taravada. The Taravada.
Theravada.
Theravada.
This is a temple.
This is a
temple. And this is called a Chuttuvilakku.
Chuttu
Lamps
Vilakku.
lit all around the temple is called Chuttuvilakku.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes.
Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. And like for us, the costume and the accessories were as important as the telling. We just wanted some, unity in all the tellings that we are doing.
Yeah, but it blended very well with your
Thank
story.
you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Usha. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
So I think the first stellar Aarti didn't turn up at all. So we will move on to the next stellar, and that's Nidhi. So our next storyteller joins us from Mumbai, Nidhi Bagaria. She brings to us The Three Birds, a fictional tale that perhaps reflects very real choices. So there is this proverb, birds don't fear the branch breaking because their trust is in their wings. Isn't it? So let's listen to Nidhi. Over to you, Nidhi.
That was a wonderful way to describe. Thank you so much, Sheetal, for the introduction. A very good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone from wherever you are. I am Nidhi, and I am a storyteller, an educator, and founder of the Creative World. And most of all, I love to listen to stories because I believe stories have taught me, they've been my teachers throughout. And every time I listen to stories here at CSF, I take away something new. Thank you so much, the storytellers. The story that you shared was something that I learned from. And a big thank you to Eric and CSF, the entire team, for this platform for all of us. And let me dive into my story, The Three Birds. It was a moonlit night, embroidered with constellations, and Maya lay awake. There was a constant black ball of pain inside her womb, and she wondered why. It was as if that pain had carried throughout her life an unneeded inheritance. That night, maybe her heart was still listening, because through her despair, her heart wanted to get answers. That night, as she was wondering and thinking, why does this pain keep constant companion to me? There came the celestial star series, unparalleled and in its illuminosity, bright and warm. It came down to meet Maya. Maya looked at Ceres and she was enveloped by its warmth and light, and she felt as if the entire universe had embraced her. Ceres, why does this pain remain with me constantly? Why does it extinguish my spirit? Ceres looked at Maya and said, "Dear child, look within you. Take the light of your awareness. This pain, you have been feeding it with your own energy. Look at it with your awareness and see what is in that black ball." "No, I can't. It hurts. I don't want to look at it. I can't even breathe when I think about it." "I will be with you all along while you look at what is the pain all about." Looking at Ceres and the warmth light, it gave Maya the courage to go deep inside her, to look at the ball of pain with the light of her awareness. When she did that, what did she find? She found 3 birds. One bird which was frozen in ice. The second bird which was locked up in the cage. And the third bird which had been fossilized in stone. Ceres looked at Maya and said, "We will free these birds in the next 3 years." And so it began. Maya's journey to dive deep within her and to free the birds that she had held within her. The first bird was frozen, and when Maya looked at it with her warmth, the light of her awareness, the beak started to move, and the bird slowly got up. "Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared to be who I am. I'm scared to sing. Please, can you let me free?" And Maya looked at the bird and remembered. She remembered her own childhood, where she twirled under the sunlight and she enjoyed each and every moment. How she was full of joy and excitement. But a painful experience made her suppress that side of herself to not look at joy. She looked at the bird and she said, "I'm sorry. I couldn't look at your pain. I couldn't listen to your voice. But I'm ready now. Can you sing for me?" The bird moved in anger and shuddered in pain. Maya realized that the bird still didn't feel safe with her. And so she asked the bird, "What can I do for you every day out of kindness and curiosity?" The bird looked up and said, "Listen, listen to my story. Listen to my story." And that's what Maya did. Every day she would listen to the bird's story. As she kept listening, the bird's voice became stronger and more joyful. And soon it became loud and happy. And the minute it started to become joyful, there was a shift within Maya, and she felt a little lighter. The second bird was caged in a metal cage, and it was flapping its wings onto the metal skeleton. Maya looked at the bird and said, "Who are you?" "I am the parts of you that you have caged, that you have shut down, that you never trusted. I am the part of you, the life of you that you didn't believe, the parts you were ashamed of." Maya wept, and she realized that her life flashed past through her, and she saw flashes of instances where she had downplayed herself. She had not believed in herself. She had not let her light shine, and she did not trust that people would just love her for who she is. She had manipulated at places. She had sharpened at others. She had worn masks just because she thought she was not enough. What can I do? How can I help to set you free? The bird said, "Believe in your fire and water. Have balance in whatever you have within. Strength is not hardness. Softness is not weakness. When you balance what you have within and respect it, so will others." Maya picked up the bird and looked at it, and she said, "Yes." And as soon as she did that, the bird flapped its wings and flew high up, its wings shining in the sky. Maya felt a little more lighter. The third bird had been fossilized into stone. And when Maya saw it, she could feel sorrow within it. And when she touched it, the grief went through her body. It was so intense. And she looked at it, waiting for it to tell her, what was this? The bird said, "These are the children you have never had. This is where you have never trusted life. This is when you have not allowed love to come to you. this was the deepest wound that Maya harbored. She whipped and whipped for a long time. What can I do? She realized what the bird was telling her. She had built walls all around her entire life because she was scared of love, so that nobody could enter those walls. She had believed that to bring life was also to bring pain to yourself, and so she had shut those doors even before she could open them. She sat there, feeling the pain. Ceres called out, Maya, what will you do with this sorrow? I will mourn it, and I will still love it. She picked up the bird, she brought it to her heart, and as soon as she said these words, the stone melted away, and the bird flew high up in the sky. She knew the bird is never going to return back again, but she also knew that now love was free to flow through her. She looked at Ceres and said, I feel so much lighter. I'm changed. Ceres' light started to dim just like the sunset. And she said, those birds were never to be carried in your belly. They were always waiting to be set free. And saying that, Ceres flew away. Maya looked at the heavens, and for the first time in her life, she looked at the stars which were shining, and she felt the same way like them, unburdened and full of light. Thank you. I'd like to end this story with a small poem. Slowly I return. I lose myself in noise and speed, in changing things I didn't need. But now I walk a softer lane, one stitch with peace instead of pain. I don't arrive in grand display. I show up gently day by day. A breath, a step, a choice to stay. That's how I find my healing way. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to my story. I would like to give a big thank you to Alison Coed, from whom I have taken this story. She writes healing fairy tales. She has a collection of them. So a big thank you to her for letting me share this story.
So
Nidhi,
Nidhi,
yes.
what did you especially love about the story? Why did you choose to tell it?
One was the part where there is Ceres who comes and helps her to realize what's going on within her. And I believe that we all have mentors or people who come in our lives and who help us to understand the different phases. So that is one of them, which I really connected to. Yes.
Yes, so the question, if there is something you would like to change in the story, what would that be? You know,
Or if
any
or if you'd like to add a chapter to it. Sheetal, do you have two devices in here?
Yes, my laptop got disconnected, so I had to connect it from phone. It got connected again. I'm so sorry. I leave
That's
this.
okay. I
Yes.
think my voice was giving an echo before, but now it's
Yes.
okay. Now it's
Yes.
okay. Yeah, so we're asking is there any possible additional chapter to the story? I mean, what might happen after the story? Can anyone can respond?
Eric, let me. Nidhi, it was a beautiful story, but unfortunately, I couldn't hear your ending words. You were very soft.
Hmm.
So that is something, don't take me wrong, you need to work on, because I think it was a very, very powerful healing story, but I missed out the ends. Yeah. And you did narrate it beautifully. And actually, I don't know, it's a story about three birds. It's a story about this young girl, Maya, and it's about her own becoming unfettered and free. I think if I've understood, that is the gist of it. We all have something that holds us back. But I would have loved to listen to the nuances which I missed. So that is it. And I would like to listen to the story from you again. Yeah. Thank you.
Does anyone have any other thoughts relating to the story? Even Nidhi? Well,
Nidhi, why did you select this story? Also, can you tell me again who was this person from Europe, from whose healing fairy tales? That also I
Her name
couldn't
is
hear.
Alison Quaid. She writes healing fairy tales. Alison Quaid. I hope you can hear me.
Can you put it in the chat box?
Yes, I will. I will, definitely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nidhi, thank you for telling us this beautiful story. Which is your favorite part in the story, Nidhi? Which made you select the story?
Yes, my favorite part is um, every instance where she, tries to look at the difficult parts of herself and tries to heal them. The second one is my most favorite because I believe that every point in time, we all, do wear masks. So to get that off and be your true, authentic self is an ongoing journey.
Okay, so that was a wonderful story. And yeah, the reflections also were very good. Thank you so much for this wonderful story, Nidhi. We enjoyed, thoroughly enjoyed. And maybe next time you can be a little louder, as ma'am said, right? Because you were very soft
Yeah, I think
and
it's a
some
different,
words were not audible.
yes, it's a different laptop today, so
So
probably, the voice was not clear. But yes, definitely I'll take care of it.
yes. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so now we return back to Chennai and to something deeply personal. So Lalita Thilak brings us a story from her own life titled The Day I Stopped Making Rice Upma. Ayyo, why? எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். So that's a beautiful proverb that says the most powerful stories are the ones we dare to live, isn't it? So it arrives in the kitchen, in quiet decisions, in ordinary moments that become sometimes extraordinary. So over to you, Lalita. I'm very excited to hear your story today.
Thank you so much, Sheetal, and I have a very bad throat. I hope I'm audible. Okay. I hope I'm audible and clear.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Greetings to all of you. Actually, I had planned on a very different story, but due to circumstances, I changed it and I penned this story. I finished writing it only this morning. and it is something which I wanted to share, and why you all will know at the end of the story. So I'm Lalitha Thilak. I'm from Chennai, and yeah, I love telling stories and sharing stories. So let me straight away get into my story. I grew up in the city of Hyderabad, a complete tomboy, totally carefree and fun-loving. My life transformed at the age of 23 when I got married, moved to Chennai into a traditional Orthodox family. My mother-in-law, a perfectionist in whatever she does, took it upon herself to teach me all the nuances of cooking and the household practices. Now, she was very, very patient, and she ensured that whatever I did it exactly in the right manner. Now, within a few months, I learned cooking. I can just say cooking came easily to me. And within a few months, I adapted my own techniques. And I'm not being vain here. I can say that I could easily cook a full course meal for 12 to 15 people. When I say full course meal, it includes a sambar, rasam, curry, koot, everything. Why? Because I was living in a family of 4 generations, and with extended relatives visiting on and off, I just mastered cooking. What I couldn't master, and I was not very inclined also towards, was the savories and sweets. And that, of course, was my mother in law's forte. Now, coming to the main part. In our household, the meals is only for lunch. And for dinner, it's always tiffin, the traditional household where they don't have rice in the night. So every day it's going to be one tiffin item, right? Your idli, your dosa, your chapati, your pesaret, and yes, the upma. So Monday became the day of upma. Now, the regular rava upma, the wheat rava upma, the broken wheat rava upma with vegetables and seasoning, I was comfortable making it. But my mother-in-law, she decided that every alternate Monday, we should make arsi upma or rice upma. Wow, arsi upma. In Hyderabad, I've never had it. I never tried making it also. And I was all super excited and curious. Amma, arsi upma, how's that? And she said, wait, I will show you. And just like a usual eager teacher and an eager student, she brought in front of me the Vengala pane. Now, if you all want to know what is a Vengala pane, this is the Vengala pane. This is a traditional cooking pot in South Indian households, I think in Tamil households, right? It is a alloy pot, bronze alloy made of copper and tin. And when I saw this Vengala pane, my bubble of excitement broke a little. I was like, Amma, you're going to make rice upma in this? Why not in the usual kadai, the deep frying pan? She said, no. Traditional says that you should make rice upma only in the Vengala pane, in the traditional manner. And only then the rice upma will come very tasty and uniformly cooked. This is the best vessel to make rice upma. Wow, a vessel just for making rice upma. I was excited and I followed every step what she did that evening. I saw her. She took some rice, she washed it, she drained it, and she kept the vessel. She closed the vessel for half an hour to 45 minutes. And after that, in the mixie jar, she took a little bit pepper and tur dal. And then slowly, she started grinding the rice. Little by little, she ground the rice and she made it into a coarse texture. After this was done, she put this Vengala pane, the pot, on the gas stove. And then she poured sesame oil. Ah, what an aroma when the oil was boiling. And of course, the seasoning, the mustard, the pulses, the urad dal and the chana dal, the ginger, the chili, the asafoetida, and the curry leaves. And then all this spluttered, a fantastic aroma filled the kitchen. Then she poured water into the pot. Now, when the water was boiling in the pot, my mother-in-law slowly took the rice which she ground, the coarse rice, and she started pouring and stirring simultaneously. so that there would be no lumps. She also added grated coconut. So after a lot of stirring and tapping, the rice upma was cooked. Delicious smell. She closed the vessel, allowed it to settle for some time. And believe me, that night I had the tastiest rice upma I've ever tasted. And just one thought ran in my mind. I have got this. So come next alternate Monday, with full gutso, I entered the kitchen. I wanted to do the rice upma just like how I'd learned it from my mother-in-law in the traditional Vengalapane, the cooking pot. So I remembered all her instructions. I followed it to the T, and even I started stirring and tapping. But in the end, instead of flaky and smooth upma, it turned out to be sticky, gooey. Oh no, my mistake. My mother-in-law told me patiently, you know why it is so sticky and gooey and it is not flaky? Because you ground the rice too finely. It should not be powdery, it should be coarse texture. Okay, lesson learned. So the next time I took extra precaution. I ensured that I ground the rice coarsely. And then once again, I remembered all the steps. I did everything. I nicely, what do you say, stirred and tapped. I made the upma. But as I was serving, I realized that one part was flaky, one part was sticky. It was not uniform, just like how she made it. When she serves it, it just falls like a piece of cake. But when I made it, it was not like that. So this time she told me, you know, Lalita, be patient. When you're cooking, you should always be patient. You should put little amounts of rice so that it's uniform. You should not put all the rice at one time. So I said, okay, Amma. And the next time I did that. Who am actually not very patient, I patiently took small amounts of rice and I ground it. And I was so happy that the entire ground mixture was coarse and uniform in texture. And I prepared the upma. But this time, the upma was undercooked. Well, I had royally messed up with the proportion of water. But this continued for weeks. My battle with the Vengalapane. I don't know, I just couldn't get it right. Sometimes it was flaky, sometimes it was sticky, sometimes it was undercooked, sometimes it was overcooked, sometimes the seasoning did not mix well, and I didn't know where I was going wrong. Each time I tried to correct myself, there was a new mistake. The follies continued. I really didn't know what to do, and this rice upma had become a nemesis. I just dreaded alternate Wednesdays when I had to tackle the Vengalapane. I had to be very, very careful. I was so scared. Is the water right? Is the rice ground properly? Am I stirring right? Are there any lumps? So it was too much for me. One fine day, I told my mother-in-law, Amma, I am not going to make rice upma anymore. I just can't get it right. My mother-in-law was surprised. She said, Lalita, what? How can you do it? Come. I'll come to the kitchen and guide you. I will teach you. I said, no, Amma, I just cannot do it. I don't seem to get it right. She said, no. There's nothing that you cannot learn. I will teach you. Only then you can pass on the tradition. Who's going to teach your daughters? You have to pass on the tradition and teach your daughters, right? But something in me snapped and I said, no, Amma, I don't want to do rice upma anymore. And if my daughters are interested, you can teach your granddaughters. No, you please go ahead and teach your granddaughters. And I stopped making rice upma in the Vengalapane from that day onwards. But yes, from that day onwards, every alternate Monday, I simply looked forward to the delicious rice upma prepared by my mother-in-law. All of us in the house enjoyed it, especially the kids. And each time we heaped praises on her. Even I used to praise her. Many times she grumbled at me. I just ignored it because I truly loved it and I praised her even more. And then, gradually, she accepted the fact that we all really loved and looked forward to her rice upma. She was so passionate that she even started making the side dish. Wow, the authentic side dish called gostu. The gostu, which is made with fried brinjal, tomatoes, onions, and cooked dal. And whenever I used to sit in my bedroom upstairs, the aroma of the burnt brinjal, the aroma of the seasoning from the kitchen downstairs always reached my bedroom and my mouth watered. For years now, everyone in the family, we really enjoyed this special dish made by my mother in law. Amma, today you're not here with us. We are definitely going to miss this treat. Not only this treat, Amma, all the sweets and savories which you used to make and the yummy dishes you used to prepare during the festivals and pujas, the taste still lingers in our mouth. I don't know where you are, Amma, but wherever you are, I hope you're at peace. You did it so lovingly and so dedicated with so much of dedication for all of us. As for me, I don't think I have the courage to lift the Vengalapane and make the rice upma anymore because that was your signature dish. Thank you.
That was amazing, Lalita.
I'm so
I
sorry.
thought I'd come and try tasting it. You can try making it.
Oh no, I don't have, I just don't have the courage to lift the Pengalapane and tackle it because that's my mother-in-law's signature dish. Actually, my mother-in-law passed away 15 days back. And
Yes,
this,
I
My God.
understood that because you had your session and you couldn't do
yeah,
the workshop.
yeah.
Yes.
So this is something which was running in my mind, and she's left a deep void, and
Okay.
nobody can replace her. There's some things which is her legacy. So
Right.
there's some things which I picked up from her, but some things that remain with her. So
Yes.
this was one thing which I really wanted to share. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much for
That's
this
super.
platform. Thank you, Eric.
And
Lalita, I really loved your story about Arishi Upma cooked in the Vengalapane because many of us do that. But you also took back to my mother-in-law, and I'm sorry for your loss. But you know, the legacy continues, which you are planning to. And this could be an intergenerational story that's cooking up. And my mother-in-law would make upma korkate, you know,
Pretty
and
quick.
gotsu, but I prefer the coconut chutney. So this really took back Vengalapana. All us South Indians are so used to this ritualistic way of cooking, and the older people would only do it, and it would taste extra special. And the art is how to avoid the lumps in that, you know, while you're pouring. You know, that's an art.
Yeah.
It was
Yes,
wonderful.
definitely.
You evoked memories, and your story was so heartfelt. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so much.
sharing that.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Like
Thank you so much.
Mangalam said, hugs to you.
Thank you so
So
much.
yeah,
Actually,
take courage.
at one point, I told my mother-in-law, why don't we do it in the pressure cooker with one whistle? She was so flabbergasted and she said, no, 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 that is not the traditional way. How can you make it in the pressure cooker? It has to be done in the traditional manner. You know, she was so particular and so perfect in what she did.
so
Thank you.
see, moms like to serve. I mean, they want to serve. So they want to make us eat with their hands the food which they cook. I think all moms, you say mom-in-laws or whoever, if we are not well also they'll ask, what do you want to have? What would you like to have? So that is something which always remains with us when they are not around. So
Absolutely,
yes, it
Sheetal.
was
My
really
mother-in-law is going through dementia and she doesn't know. I've told her many times, can you make the pudi korkate or, you know, upma korkate? So now I know I have Meenakshi Amma's Cook and See, Tamil, Samaithapar. I think I will delve into it, and I'm sure it's not Einstein's theory of relativity. I can definitely crack it and do it. So I'm going to try my hand. And thank you now, एक minute. Thank you for the story because now I feel, you know, motivated to really try my hand at Upma Korkata.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Lalita, I also want to say
Yes.
that truly, I think you got all of us emotional at the end. It was such an endearing story, and your love for your mother-in-law was so evident, the way you were telling. And for her to accept that it's okay even if you don't make, and she continued. So it was like, both ways. And it was so
Yeah.
like what everyone said, even I'm going to try making this, even though I don't certainly this. I just simply loved it, your story.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Lalita, you've made me feel homesick now. Now I'm missing my amma's kolkata and arsi upma. You're making me feel homesick now. Take care, dear. Hugs to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Lalita, that was a wonderful,
So what a beautiful way to give a tribute to your mother-in-law. In my house also we make kalichina and we make this adult form, doing it on the dosa tawa. I miss my mom too. Thank you for this beautiful story you shared with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Haritha. Thank you so much.
Yes, Nidhi, please. Sorry.
no worries.
You are so soft. Nobody hears you actually. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, next time I'll make sure that I get into a laptop which has the earphones. Yeah. Lalita, that was a wonderful narration, and I could really feel your emotions, especially towards the end. And I'm sure your mother-in-law, wherever she is, she's right there blessing you. And, I'm sure she's going to be around with you all the time. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you so much.
So impressed that you did this story in the morning and you're narrating it. So hats off.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So before we jump on to the last teller of the day, Haritha, there is a lot of disturbance when you are speaking. So I hope that doesn't come when you are doing the telling. Because
One
that's...
minute.
Yeah, you carry on, you fix it. In the meantime, we are still there with Lalita. Don't go. We are still there with you.
I'm there. I'm just sorting my throat.
Okay. So yes, anybody else would do any reflections on a story? Now here we can't ask if you could have changed, what would have you changed the story? Because it is your own story and it is so much, you have made it with all your heart. So yes, of course, I think when we tell personal stories, we don't have this line of questions that could you have changed in the story? Because yeah.
Her dedication and love for the family, was utmost. So whether I learned it or not, she wanted to do it for her grandchildren because we really praised her. I mean, even I enjoyed it so much. So even she grumbled at me saying, "When are you going to learn? How are you going to learn?" I didn't bother. I say, "Amma, you are the best. You do it well." So some things, we take it for granted that Amma is always going to be there doing it for us. So I think that Monday void will definitely be there.
So my mom-in-law makes a lot, she makes sambar powder, and that is so nice that I mean, after 26 years, I learned it finally to make it like her. But when I go to my mom's place and I give her my sambar powder, she will ask me, who's made it? Did you make it? Or your mom-in-law made it? But she is not ready to accept the sambar powder what I make. She only wants the sambar powder what my mom-in-law makes. So some things don't go, whatever or how much ever you could try, their taste never goes. It always stays with
And
us.
it's now going to hit me because all this is going to get on to me now, I mean, so I have to start from scratch and I don't know how I'm going to do it. Hopefully I should do it because it was all my mother-in-law's department, right? From the batter to the puddies, everything was her department.
Legacy, so you will do it. Yes.
No, it's actually so true, right? When they're there, I mean, we just go on, and certain dishes are their signature dishes. We just go on, like as Lalita said, we think they will always be there and they will always cook for us. That one feeling is there, and as you said, it really hits when that huge void comes.
The taken for granted feeling, right, Mangalam?
Yeah, they'll always be there. They'll always do for us. Yes.
Yes, Haritha, are you ready?
Is it better now?
Yes, much better, much better. Because that was totally like, I was not knowing sounds were coming from all the sides. So I was thinking my internet is bad, but bad. Then I realized it was coming from your side only.
Good that you told me.
Okay, so now we are coming towards the end of the session, and we have our storyteller Haritha Kannan, and she is going to share with us the story Who Makes Miracles Happen. Oh, so I remember a proverb here. Miracles are not contrary to nature, they are contrary to what we know about nature, right? So perhaps today we will discover that miracle where every human faces, right? So please welcome Haritha. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Sheetal. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the listeners who are joined for the Chennai Storytelling Festival. I'm Haritha Kannan and I'm connecting from Chennai, that's in Tamil Nadu, India. I love to tell stories in Tamil and English, and I also do puppetries of different forms, and I try to include creative arts as part of my storytelling and puppetry sessions. With that, let me straightly take you to the story that I've planned for today. Clothes was lying everywhere. Shoes, socks, it was just there on top of the bed. Jack had already snoozed the alarm for the third time now. After 15 minutes, he woke up. Oh, he checked his watch. He's already late to his office. Jack takes evening shifts, and he quickly got ready in just 10 minutes. He pushed his doorway open and he went down, started to run towards the suburban railway station. And tuck, all of a sudden, he stumbled upon something that was lying on the road. Hit by his legs, the thing went in forward direction for a few inches. Jack, for some time, couldn't understand because he was already in a big hurry. He stopped, looked down on the ground, and picked up that little thing which stopped him. It was a brown color leather purse, a wallet. It had a red ribbon on its edges. He quickly opened and he saw just $3 was lying there. Okay, he looked around to see if anyone was there so he can hand over to the owner. Nobody was there around. He opened the purse again and something else caught his attention. There was a powdered blue envelope. With the look of it, you can say the envelope was right there, sitting on the wallet for many years from now. It was torn on the edges, it was crumpled. He thought for a second if I can open the envelope or not. Okay, maybe if I can find the address of the owner, I could hand it over to that person. So he opened the envelope, took the letter. It was not white in color. It was brownish yellow in color. A very old one indeed, he told to himself. And it was a Dear John kind of a letter. It was written to a person called Michael. Dear Michael, I'm sorry, we can't meet again. Don't try to reach me through text or through call. Don't send me any letters. My mother didn't approve of our love. But let me tell you one thing. I love you today and I will always be in love with you. And it was signed as Hannah. He again went back to the envelope looking for the address. The receiver's address was not there, but Jack was able to identify or make out the sender's address. In 1924, you can't immediately find the address or the corresponding phone number of a person, isn't it? He went to the nearest telephone booth. He called the telephone operator. A gentle lady picked up the call. Jack asked, Ma'am, I have an address with me. Can you find a phone number related to this address? The lady said, Please wait. And she quickly went through the listing. Yes, of course, there is a phone number associated with this address, but I'm not sure if I can give you the address right away. She asked Jack to be on hold for some time. After a few minutes, her supervisor picked up the call and he said, We have to take permission by calling the person, and then if they are okay, we can give you the address. Again, Jack has to wait. He waited and waited what looked like eternity for him because he had to take his evening shift. He was running late. But still, something told him, please wait. So he patiently waited. He kept tapping his shoes, tap, 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 tap. And after a few more minutes, the supervisor spoke to Jack. Sir, seems like a lucky day for you. The other person has agreed to give her number to you. Jack immediately noted the number. He cut this call and again dialed the other number. A lady picked up the call. Jack curiously asked, is there someone in the name of Hannah residing in your home? The lady took a few minutes and she said, of course, we got this house from a lady called Mary. And as far as I can remember, her daughter's name was Hannah. Jack was so happy. Is there any chance that you noted the address where Mary and Hannah will be living now? And the lady said, I'm not sure where they are living, but I've seen Mary in a nursing home. So Jack got the address of the nursing home. It was a few miles away from where he was making the phone call. So he decided to take a cab and go to that nursing home. Jack reached the nursing home. The guard greeted him with a smile. Jack quickly entered the reception and there was a nurse. He asked, was there an old lady in the name of Mary? The nurse went through the notebook that he had. She looked at him and said, of course, we had a lady in the name of Mary and in the address that you have given. But she is not here anymore. She is not alive. I'm sorry. Do you know anything about Mary? He was about to ask. Yes, I can tell you someone who knows all about Mary, the nurse replied. Can you please give the address? Jack asked the nurse, and the nurse said, it's her daughter, Hannah. Hannah, after her retirement, she decided to stay in this nursing home where her mother lived. You say Hannah is living in this nursing home? Jack was surprised. He didn't expect this. Yes. And is there any chance of me meeting her now? Jack checked his watch. It is already 8 o'clock. Hannah lives in the third floor, and it is her habit to watch television at this time. If you're lucky, she might be still or in the TV room. So the nurse took Jack to the third floor, and Hannah was there in her wheelchair. With not many people around, Hannah was keeping her hands on the wheelchair's rest. To Jack, it was not sure whether Hannah was watching the television or she was already sleeping. So he softly went near her. The nurse touched the shoulder of Hannah and she said, Hannah, you have someone visiting me. Someone visiting me after so many years? Hannah asked. Jack went near Hannah. Jack asked Hannah, Hannah, do you know someone in the name of Michael? Michael, you say? The old lady's eyes started to twinkle and her dimples were visible just with the name of Michael. Yes, he was my love. When I was 16, I loved him so much, but my mother didn't approve our love. I never made any contact with him. It's been so many years. Jack showed the letter to her. This was the last time I wrote a letter to him. And Anna started to well up her eyes with tears. How did you get this? Did Michael send this letter to you? Do you know where he lives? Jack felt disappointed and he told Anna, no, I don't have any details about Michael. I really don't know where he lives. And Anna said, even I don't know, or I don't have his address. Michael Goldstein was my one and only love. I never married after him. After I fell in love with him, Anna said. At least he got a clue, Jack thought. Michael Goldstein is his full name? Okay. When he was about to leave, Anna tried to get up from her wheelchair. She caught the fingers of Jack and he said, if at all he is alive, tell him that I still think of him. Whenever I watch the movies of Sean Connery, it makes me think about him more. Jack came down to the reception again. He just sat on the sofa. He was not sure what to do next. It was almost end of day. He just kept the purse on the sofa side and he was looking at him. Just then the guard came. You came here to return this purse? The guard asked Jack. This purse? Yes. This belongs to Michael, the guard said. You know Michael? Of course, anyone can tell that this is Michael's wallet. It has this bright red lace around its edges. Can you take me to him? You know where he is? He's an old timer in our nursing home. He's there in the 9th floor. In the same nursing home, Jack couldn't believe what he just heard. Anna was in the 3rd floor and Jack was already there in the same nursing home for all these years in the 9th floor. Is this called destiny? He took the permission of the nurse and the guard and he immediately rushed to the 9th floor. He was there in the library. When Anna loved to watch movies, Michael was a person of books. There was only one dim light that was on in the library, and Michael was right under it, reading his book. Jack went near him, and he said, Michael, do you remember Anna? Just with the name of Anna, Michael dropped the book that he was holding. He immediately got up. He clutched the shoulders of Jack, and he started to shake. Are you Anna's son? He asked. No, I'm not Anna's son. Do you know where she is? Is she as sweet? Is she as pretty as I remember her? Michael's eyes widened and his heart was beating so fast. Jack told, yes, she is as sweet as you remember. She is as pretty as you remember, just that she got more wrinkles in her face and hands. Michael pleaded Jack, please, take me to Anna. I just want to see her. Can you take me tomorrow? Are you free tomorrow? Can you take me to Anna tomorrow? Please say yes, Michael pleaded. Jack said, please relax. You need not wait till tomorrow. I can take you to Anna right away. Right away, you say? At this time of the day? It is almost 10 o'clock now, Michael replied. Yes, it is possible. And that's a surprise for you, Jack said. Holding Michael's hand, they both went to the elevator and then they took the lift to the 3rd floor. He just opened the door of the TV room. Jack stood near the entrance of the room. It was just only Michael who walked slowly, without believing what he is just seeing in front of his eyes. He walked slowly near Anna. He stood near Anna, bent his neck, and then he decided to kneel down near Anna. And he softly asked, Anna, can you recognize me? Anna was just taken aback. Is this you, Michael? Just now a person came and spoke about you. And after a few minutes, you're here right in front of me. Is this you, Michael? Is this true? Or am I in a dream? Anna was just taken aback. Michael relaxed her. Michael just took Anna by her cheeks. It is me, Anna, it is me. And they both said in chorus, I never fell in love again. I never wish to marry again. And they smiled when they repeated these lines in chorus. Michael said, I was always in love with you and I never married anyone else. And tears welled in both their eyes. They clutched their hands. Jack was watching all this from a distance and he thought maybe I should leave a private moment for them, and he went back. After a few weeks, Jack got called to his phone number, and that was an invite for Anna and Michael's wedding. They wanted Jack to be Michael's best man. And it was a beautiful wedding which happened in the same nursing home and in the TV hall. With all Michael's and Anna's friends, it was such a beautiful wedding. And if you ever wanted to meet lovebirds in the age of 76 and 73, you must watch their wedding. And that is the story of how miracles can happen. Is this miracles can happen through your words, your actions, or maybe a few moments of pause from your regular life? What is your thought on it?
Super. I love the story. And you know why I loved it more? I could remember the Hindi movie Veer Zara. Something very similar, isn't it? If somebody has seen the movie,
Not seen it.
yes,
You should watch it sometime.
it's a Hindi movie, so yes, and that's one of my favorites. So very similar story, and it was amazing.
Thank you, Sheetal. Thank
Yes.
you, Haritha. I have this one question. Do you believe in miracles? Has it any time happened in your life? Please feel free to share.
Okay, I don't want to be the one always talking, but Haritha, since you asked about miracles, I believe in miracles, and it's happened to me. I lost my first child in the year 1988, June 20th, to viral encephalitis. I was barely 26, and I was drawn to Tiruvannamalai, to Ramana Maharishi's ashram. And I tried to ask all the venerable sage there. The pontiff of Kanchi Madam was still there, Chandrasekharendra Swamigal. So with tears, and our family was very close to Periva. So one of his deputies asked him that they have come. This is Auditor Srinivasan's son and daughter-in-law. They just lost a 6-month-old baby. The pontiff didn't say anything. He just looked. He just looked at me with grace. And with tears streaming down, I knew there was a communication happening. We went to Tiruvannamalai. I asked everyone. They all said maybe the soul has come from here. I would search for my daughter's clothes, the way I would dress her up. She had the best. My mother-in-law had bought everything, shopped for her in New York and brought it before she was born. Nothing. I come back, and 2 years later, I conceived Radha, my second child. My daughter was born April 27th. I had lost my mother, a month and a half back. My life was a mess from the age of 26 to 28, 29. I don't know how I survived. And at that time, it was a C-section delivery, and she was supposed to be born on 27th morning. We had set a time because we follow horoscopes, astrology, but she defied everything and she was born midnight. And I get a mail from Tiruvannamalai, from the temple, that you had asked us to do this Archanai on the star Kritika, and we have sent you the prasadam. And this was 10 days after, and we had never said do it on the star Kritika. And she was born on Kartigai Nakshatram, and I feel she is a gift from Maharishi himself, and I got my daughter back. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, it is, after all, we humans like to comfort ourselves. But miracles do happen, I believe strongly.
Wonderful, Sheetal.
Even I believe in miracles.
Yes, miracles happen, and you just have to believe miracles happen.
I can just share a recent thing which I believe, was really, it's a divine intervention. My mother-in-law passed away on 13th, and she doesn't have daughters. So we are two daughter-in-laws, and we have to do the rituals. And exactly my menstrual cycle last month was on the same date, around 13th, 12th. So I was hoping and praying. Every day I prayed. And for the 13 days, I did not get my periods. And it's only after the 13th day, on the 14th day, I got it. And it was a real divine miracle, because I had to do every day with my co-sister the rituals for my mother-in-law. We did it at home itself. So miracles do happen, right? When the purpose is strong and you have a strong divine connect, miracles do happen.
Yeah, I believe that when you believe, miracles happen. So when you have that deep belief, about something, it happens. Yes.
So as Usha ma'am also had told, right, that when we manifest,
Yes.
when we really want something, don't ask how will I get it, just let it happen. So that is again a kind of a miracle that you surely will, it will surely happen. So you have to believe in it.
And I
And
have
that
to add
happens.
here, I did not use any tablets, nothing. I just left it to the divine. And I said, make it happen
Right.
with my mother-in-law. Somehow it happened. So it was very soul satisfying.
Yes. So then when you do it with your heart, no one stops, not even God. So that's the thing. Okay, so are we, Eric, we do have time.
Well, the next program is at half an hour from now at 4 o'clock, Storytelling for Children.
Yes.
If we're done, we can just stop the recording and close the session and then just wait until 4 o'clock.
Till 4 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah. So there's no other storytellers now.
Okay. No, Aarti didn't turn up only, right? She
Yeah.
didn't even.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
we'll
let me just end it. I will just end it.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ending lines, yes. So as we come to this beautiful session ending, which yes, we had wonderful tellers and wonderful listeners. Yes, Usha ma'am, thank you so much for giving us, your reflections on any story. That is so much of needed. And I remember a Japanese proverb here. So one kind word can warm 3 winter months. Right. So it's something like that. Your words were like that warmth, isn't it? So we had from epics to folk tales, from fiction to lived experiences, right? We traveled across time, geography, and of course, emotions. So there's also one more saying I remember: we tell ourselves stories in order to live, right? So that was what Lalitha's story was about. That's a story she will be living with. And today we lived a little more fully. So thank you again to all the storytellers for your honesty, courage, and of course, the craft of storytelling. And thank you to the audience for listening with such stillness. May we always keep telling stories, isn't it, from all our experiences and from all what we are learning. May you live with one story that stays with you tonight and perhaps changes something quietly within. Have a beautiful evening ahead. And of course, we are eagerly waiting for the children's section storytelling. Vasugi ma'am is already here. Bye-bye, everyone. See you later.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Sheetal, for your proverbs, which are on the spot all the time.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Sheetal. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Mangalam. Thank you. Eric, you can stop recording. Can I do that?